got everything together, ready to at least try and fire up. I haven't done anything besides change the injector flow rate from 80 pounds to 120. I have a set of 120 pound an hour injectors from Holly. This intake manifold I was talking about earlier, thinking it was going to be okay. This thing's a complete pile of junk. I do not suggest getting it. The injectors will not seal up. They're leaking like crazy. Not crazy, but they were a minute ago. But I got my 20 pound CO2 bottle here at 40 pound. So if anything catches on fire, I'm just gonna crank that thing open, shut the door, and walk out. But I'm gonna try and fire it up, see what it does. It may run, it may not, it may catch on fire. Who knows? But give it a try. Surprisingly, just cranked right up. That's the power of Holly right there, folks. Yeah. I don't know if it had any oil pressure though. I'm gonna try it one more time. It's definitely a lot louder. It says 0 pounds of oil pressure, so that's not good. And it is hooked up. So that's not cool. So you gotta go prime the oil pump. Yeah, that's not cool. Alright, we're gonna give this one more try. Went ahead and primed the oil pump like I was supposed to the first time. If it doesn't pick up oil pressure now, then something's wrong. So hopefully we get oil pressure. Still saying 0 on the oil pressure. Is it going down any?
Tiny bit.
Oh, I can see it.
You can?
The freaking O-ring's not even in there.
Ew.
Dadgummit. See, that stupid plate wouldn't screw down. I didn't see that underneath there.
Oh, I see.
You can see it in the camera. That green O-ring is just sticking out. Might have ruined the engine. Because I'm stupid. Look at it. You can see it's not even engaged in there at all. Stupid! I got that bracket bit back. And now it looks like the O-ring is pushed up in there like it should be. No oil pressure for like over 30 seconds. Brand new cam. Brand new trunnions. Thing's probably ruined. Stupid. Won't do that again this week. So now I'm going to reprime it. And now, hopefully, I'll have my oil pressure. Hopefully the bearings aren't smoked. So let's see what it gets. Looks like it's leaking from the exhaust side. Just like the other turbo. It's kind of annoying. Hey, this is the whole reason I wanted to swap turbos. To get a better turbo that can seal the oil pressure. It's only making 60 pounds at idle. These turbos should hold that no problem. The only deal that may be a deal breaker is the fact that I only have -8 returns. I actually need to upgrade to a -10 because the drains going into the timing cover are only -8, the fittings themselves. So I'd have to cut those out and put some 10s in its place. So I think what I'm going to do is try to straighten out that drain, try to make it a little bit easier for the drain to work. Definitely don't want any sort of resistance at all. I'm just going to try and make it go straight down. Take out that 90 fitting. See, currently I have that 90 on there, and then it bows over to the side. I'm just going to take that 90 out and go straight down into the side of the timing cover. This one over here is not leaking, but it's got a much straighter shot down than this side, so that might be the issue. Alright, we're going to try this again. Bled the coolant system from a port I have for the steam port off the top of the water pump. Took out the 90-degree fitting on the turbo drain, so it's just going to go straight down and out. Hopefully that'll keep it from smoking and leaking oil. If it doesn't, I'm going to have to get a new timing cover with a -10 fitting on it. Looking to see if we can get some cooling circulation from the water pump. Let's see how it goes. Oh. Looks like I forgot to tighten the battery terminal. Okay, something's wrong. Got no starter. That means something's going on with that starter wire. So here's my little starter wire. Nothing's loose. Tell me the friggin' starter's messed up or something. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I had to pull this switch out. Doesn't work, that's for sure. So if this turns over, then the switch is the problem. So it's not the switch. Should have just checked it with a meter to see if I had power going to my little starter button. Grab my meter and I'll be right back. If the starter is the problem, then I can take 12 volts, apply it directly down here, and it should not start. If it does want to turn over, that means I've got an issue somewhere along the line. Yeah, well, it does turn over. So that means there is an issue. That means that little wire. So I guess I'm going to try to tighten that up. I guess it could be that blue wire, but it's getting power from the switch and from the starter button. It gives it power as well. If I hit the button, let me go hit the button. It should turn over. Oh, I know what it is. I'm dumb. What a waste. It's not neutral or park. It's a neutral safety switch. Durr. So what's actually happening is a little interesting. The weld itself is actually contacting the two bolts for the oil pump are like right in line with these. So the bolt for the oil pump is actually hitting. You can actually see where it contacts right there. So there's like zero flow going through there. Alright, got everything back together. I had to silicone the timing covers. I'm going to have to wait for that to dry. But I took some hose and blew through the fitting. Before this fitting, it was really hard to blow through. Now it's really easy. Same thing for the other side. It was actually a little bit of resistance to blow through it. And now that I cleaned it up, it's easy. So that might have been the problem with the other turbo. Whenever I changed oil, it just was moving too much volume and pressure for it, and it couldn't drain. Still a little bit of oil in the exhaust, so that's gonna smoke for a little bit, but I've got to adjust the fuel pressure because it was at 45 pounds at idle, which is way too high. If it's idling at like a couple pounds of vacuum, it should be below 43 at least. 43 pounds at atmosphere. So I'm gonna go run a couple errands, let this thing cure while I'm gone, and then should be ready to crank up and let it warm up for a little while. Alright, so I got everything buttoned up. I think I've got the turbo drains figured out. Let the silicone dry for a little while. Go ahead and crank it up. I'm just checking to see how those injectors look. Still kind of looks like they're leaking just the tiniest bit of fuel. And I'm going to try and get the radiator to burp all the air out of it. But hopefully it doesn't smoke now. I'm also going to go ahead and adjust that fuel pressure. Well, for whatever reason, the thermostat is just not opening up. So, I don't know what that's about. Alright, so I went and completely removed the thermostat. Just want to make sure everything is flowing like it should. Still doesn't seem like it's flowing. Yeah, the water's just hot right there. You know, I don't know. Just not priming well. Hard to say, because on a 240 it's really tough to get it to prime too. Well, it's back in the trailer. Under its own power too. Had to rig up a quick little throttle cable. Just enough to get me into the garage. Well, trailer. Still, looks like I've got a leak on at least one injector. This is driving me crazy. It's freaking dangerous too. Looks like finally got the radiator to prime up, or the water pump to prime up, start circulating. But I don't have a thermostat in it right now, so I'm gonna have to take that apart, put the thermostat back in there, fix that leaky O-ring, and get a regular or a actual throttle cable bracket, and then hopefully this turbo is done leaking. So good enough for today.